welcome back to another episode of My Quality is for Real. I am your lovely host here, Queen My Quality. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. It's been a minute since we kicked it and we chilled, y'all. It is 2022. Can y'all believe it? It's 2022. We made it. We here. We made it. It's been a rough past 2 years, y'all, but we made it. I wrapped up the last season of My Quality is for Real around September, and I've been on a little hiatus, if you will, from the show for the past couple of months, just trying to, recoup and get myself together and prepare for this new year. But I am back with the jump off, and I am here to have more quality talks, real quality talks with quality people who have real purpose. If you are familiar with the show, then you know the progress that it has taken, the journey that it's taken, and it's definitely come a long way. Shout out to everybody who has had a hand in helping it become what it is. It started off as a podcast. Michaela is for real. That was the name of the podcast. And so, like I said, it has grown and it's taken a life of its own. And now it is My Quality is for Real. And I want to focus more on it becoming an actual show. Y'all, shouts out to all of my podcasters out there. I love them. I watch podcasts all day. But I just realized that, that's not really my lane and what I want to do. I want to have a variety show, if you will. Something like the kind of show that Trevor Noah has, you know what I'm saying, with the Daily Show, or, just something different. That's what I'm aiming towards. So you definitely will get the interviews. You will see the interviews, but you will also get a different side of me. You'll be able to see my acting. I am an actor. I'm going to share that side of me with you all, and I'm also going to share my journey. As some of you may know, that I have recently, well, it's been a year and some change, I have been living in New York City, the Big Apple. So I'm going to allow you all to, share that journey with me as well. And, just some different little things. Again, I want to make it a variety show. I definitely want it to be, more than just a podcast. And again, I love my podcast, but this is just what I want to do with the show. So you all are in for a real treat. Be sure to like and subscribe to Queen My Quality on YouTube. You're going to check out the segment My Quality in the City. Also, I have Think About It Thursdays, and I may be dropping some more. You're going to get your Black History facts, also, you're going to get your Did You Know, just educational, if you will, but also entertaining, and, yeah, I'm like hilarious as well. So you're gonna laugh and you're gonna enjoy it. Well, at least I hope you all enjoy it. And if not, then this isn't the show for you. But if it is, like I said, be sure to like and subscribe to Queen My Quality on YouTube. Also, you can check out www.myqualityisforreal.com. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram, and My Quality is for Real. So yeah, stay tuned. Again, I have a wonderful show lined up for y'all. You're in for a treat. Stick around. Peace. Did you know Frederick Allen Hampton was born August 30th, 1948, and was assassinated December the 4th, 1969? He was an American activist and revolutionary socialist. He came to prominence in Chicago as chairman of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party and deputy chairman of the National BPP. Hampton also became involved in the civil rights movement, joining his local branch of the NAACP. His dynamic leadership and organizational skills in the branch enabled him to rise to the position of Youth Council president. One of Hampton's greatest achievements was to persuade Chicago's most powerful street gangs to stop fighting against each other. He founded a prominent multicultural political organization, the Rainbow Coalition. Because of his strong leadership in 1967, the FBI identified Hampton as a radical threat and began to try to subvert his activities in Chicago, sowing disinformation among these groups and placing a counterintelligence operative in the local Panthers. Did you know that? Well, now you do. Peace. All right, so peace, everybody. This is another episode of My Quality is for Real, where I have real talks with quality people who have real purpose. Today, I have another dope individual who is definitely walking in her purpose, Miss Noel Bowen. She is the founder of the Black Mature Women. She is a mother, she's a realtor, she is a woman who wears a lot of hats. I'm going to let her introduce herself and we're going to get right into it. So, Miss Noel, if you introduce yourself and let the people know who you are.
Well, that is a beautiful introduction. Let me just say thank you. Thank you. As she said, my name is Noel Bowen. I am the founder of Black Mature Women, a sister who knows and understands other sisters. And of course, I do wear an array of hats. You know, God doesn't just have one purpose, He has several purposes, and I'm striving hard every day to walk in them. So, yeah, mother of 3 beautiful adult children. Have my own business, been in corporate America for over 20 years. And I'm a veteran too. So, you know, again, there's just a lot of things that God has given me opportunity to do. And this is just another one. So it's great to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I am a fan of the Black Mature Woman. I want to talk a little bit about that. I know that we kind of had our conversation offline, but I kind of want to bring it online because I think it is real important, especially for women, but especially for women of color. There's some type of stigma. I don't know where it came from, but there's some type of stigma that we can't work together, or I don't do her, or, I don't. So I kind of want to talk about, your reason for wanting to start the Black Mature Women and then kind of get into that and, your experience with that. And then I'll kind of share my experience with it as well.
Beautiful. Great question. So I will say that, as a couple of years ago, probably about 7, I have a very intimate tribe. There's about 7 or, well, no, I'm sorry, there's like 12 women. But even in that group, there was a couple conversations that led to, I just don't do women. Y'all glad I do, y'all. I just don't do this stuff right here. I don't do new friends. Those type of things that will, kind of make you feel like, well, that look like what? And I was like, you lying. And in my head, I kept saying, you lying, because you wouldn't be here right now if you just didn't do women. There's something that I think the conversation should be different. It may not be that you don't do women. Maybe it's, I don't do BS. I don't do playing games. I don't trust really well because of some of my experiences. But you do women. You're a woman. You do women. Right. But it's such a way to say it that causes other women to be like, retreat. I'm not even going to approach that head game. It's not a space I want to be in. And so Black Mature Women, full transparency, because that's the only way we're going to grow, right, comes from a place of me doing really bad things at a very young age and bad situations between men and women. You know what I'm saying? Where maybe I was that other chick and I shouldn't have been her, which caused another woman to feel misused or threatened or fall into a place of distrust. That was not my intent, sometimes it was deliberate. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it was because that's kind of how society groomed us to be, that we could get off in there and do some things. And if I can get him, that was on you. You're bad. That's not okay. It's so not okay. Because at the end of the day, you're really doing it to yourself, sis. She's a woman just like you. Y'all are no different. You're doing it to each other. And I had to look at myself and realize that I know the situation better than most because I've done the situation. I've been on both sides of that situation. It's not a comfortable place being on either side. And I felt like I needed to have a place where we could have the conversations. And I could come from a place of true honesty and transparency. I'm not coming from a place like, well, I've never experienced that. Right. I wonder how that feels. I've never been, wow, that's never happened to me. No, I can't say that. I can say I've been the victim of and the culprit of on the same coin. And I've been able to look at myself in the mirror and see myself as that victim, and also look at that reflection of the woman that I hurt in being the culprit. So it's not okay. And that's just one of the things that we deal with as sisters. That's just one. We don't do business with each other well. We don't do blended families well. We
Mm-hmm.
don't do divorces well. We don't do college well, or we try to strive and walk over each other. We don't do, there's so anything that we do, we struggle with in our Black community. We don't give each other permission. We don't give each other forgiveness. It comes with some conditions that, honestly, sis, those are not good conditions. Those are your fears. And you make it extremely hard for anyone to penetrate and come through, to love on you, or to even ask you for forgiveness. But what I look at, and I'm not bashing kings, you quick about moving to a dude, I just do men. Do you? Because they honestly don't do you. Men don't do us the same way that they do their brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point. I hate the slogan, bros before hoes. I'm sorry. They have an alliance that we don't even have.
With each
We
other.
won't.
We don't even put each other first, and they gonna go to bat for their brother. You saying a word. You saying
But
a
we look at it like, yeah, we down with, no, you're not. And I'm not saying that we can't have loyalties. I mean, I'm not saying that there's not room for maturity, but honestly, we haven't worked through it yet. We haven't set the standard. We haven't changed the narrative. We're following an illustration that has been broken and set up for failure from jump. Women do women. You lying. And the sad thing is, with us dealing with a society of Karens, as you can see, those other women will do them even if they don't like each other. They have an understanding that is beyond our own understanding. They will form an alliance and let those type of relationships happen without consequence.
And you would think after everything that we've been through as a people, that would have made us closer, that we would have some type of, alliance that the other races don't, but we don't. It seems like for whatever reason that has really made us against each other. And
but that was by design too.
Yeah. It definitely was by design.
And it only took a little bit to plant. And we have grown and harvested this situation for hundreds of years. We've been doing it. We don't realize it. For me, my theory, and I'm not a therapist, my theory is that it's easier for me and you to hurt each other because we look the same, because we know each other better. We're familiar. I won't press against them and those others because I'm not sure, or there's consequences that I may not survive.
Right.
But I'll do it right here in a minute, because I talk like you, we look like you, and I can get with you. And we may fight and we may not survive, but I'm willing to fight you better than I'm willing to fight those others. And I'm like, no, you're not finna fight me like that. You're gonna have to fight me with love, forgiveness, patience, perseverance. That's what you're gonna fight me with. And most of the times we don't have those in our arsenal. We don't have that. We struggle with that. We got everything else, but we don't have the very key things that would keep us together.
And let me just say, you're probably one of the first women that I've met that actually have been transparent and admitted that. And I'm going to even go as far as to say for myself, I'm guilty of it too. It wasn't until recently that I even stepped back and was like, okay, what did I do? Because for so long, I'm like, well, no, I'm the victim, or, well, her bad, because I didn't look at myself as the one in the wrong. I looked at it as, well, that's her fault, but we can be transparent, and that's the first step. I think that the first step to recovery is first admitting. You have to first look at yourself and admit it, and then, okay, look, sis, I'm sorry. Or, if you don't want to accept my apology, okay, well, what can we do to move forward? Because we are better when we are together, whether we know it or not. When we come together, we can't be stopped. We cannot be stopped. And that's what the dope thing about the Black mature women. I see that you guys have events and stuff, and I would love to come to those type of events, because that's one thing that I am in search of. It's a sisterhood. And like I said, you're probably one of the first people that I felt like, what, I believe what she's saying, because some people, a lot of us, that's another thing too. A lot of us, we put on this image of, I want a sisterhood and I want this, and let's kumbaya, let's all get together, but it'd be some underlining messy, all of that. How have you been successful in weeding that out in the Black mature women?
Ooh, I will say that my group is relatively young, and so it's been a slow um, race, if you will. We're still very much in the crawling stages. You have to know that they come in with this apprehension, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching you. I have 424 beautiful women that are in this group, right? When I tell you it's small, it's not like the norm where they jump up to 1,000 and 3 and 4 and over just a few weeks. We've been doing this slow walk since March of this year. And I'm
Wow.
okay with it because I need and here it is too. I'll make it I'll add this other component up until here in the last few days, and again, it will be open as of the 24th. I only allowed women that were Black women,
Mm.
period. I did that with the intent because I'm only talking about us. Everybody else has a platform. Everybody else has a support group. Everybody else has things that we just don't have. And I am tired of other people giving us their opinions
Mm.
about how they think we should run or be or act or, whatever. And so I made it very clear that this was an unapologetic, intentional, only Black women can come. So even being mixed, if you don't identify as being Black, I'm sorry. I was very intentional. If Black is not the first thing you're thinking about when you look at yourself in the mirror as a beautiful
It's
woman,
not
I'm
for
a Black.
you.
I don't come here
Mm.
because you're not truly loving self yet. You're still struggling with identity. However, my door is open. So to answer that question, my door is never closed to a woman. It's never closed to you. If you got to get up and remove yourself, I'm okay with it. But I'm not like most of us tend to do. I'm not slamming the door behind you and you can catch your A as you walk out. No, your crown will be sitting in front of the seat at the very table that was made just for you.
Mm.
That door, you can come in and out as much as you want. I can't close a door on the very person that deserves to be here, regardless of what you're going through. So
Mm.
for me, that's how that is. For me, also, God dealt with me about a lot of things that I've done and still does. And I'd be like, why in the world me? And it's because I'm open to being transparent. And if it's not something that I'm comfortable with saying, I'm also that very one that says it's just not your business.
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie to you about it, but I'm not gonna talk to you about it. I may just not be there yet. And like you said, it's the reverse. There are people who are looking for that, who tell me that, I'm not down with that.
Right.
If you need it because you need to know you're not alone, or you need someone the very person who hurt you may not be able to give you that retribution, but maybe I can because I've admitted my own, and you're serious about that, I will apologize for your pain,
Mm-hmm.
even though I may not have caused it, because you need to know that you're loved. So I love for real. I don't play with that. When I tell you I do, I do. And so maybe that's some of the things that has curved those behaviors. I'm not saying they're not there, but I haven't seen them
Mm. That's awesome. And and when you say there's not a lot of people that really, when you think about it from March until now, that's a lot of progress. It really is. And I think that that's something to really be proud of. Not only do you have the page, you have the show. You have a show as
yet.
well. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I got a chance to watch an interview with I forget her name, but she's the Black Girl Magic Museum. I got a chance to go to that museum the last time I was in Texas. And
Wow.
when I tell you, I got a card and I was actually going to reach out to her because I wanted to interview her. But another thing,
Yes.
I was a little scared. I'm like, she ain't gonna want to come on my little show. See, and that's,
Your little show.
and those are the
Your
things that
little
we
show.
that we tell ourselves. I got to get over that as well. But I
You
want to
do.
talk about your show. And again, shouts out to her. That museum is dope. When I tell you that I had a good time, I even have a little video at the end. It was like 3 other women. We didn't know each other from Adam. When I tell you, we had a little karaoke station at the end, and we have so much fun. So talk about the show and the dope women that you get a chance to interview and get to connect with.
Ooh. Okay, so the show. First of all, I didn't know what God was doing. He a fool. He a mess. Because I was like, Lord, I'm gonna talk to people. Like, people want to listen to this. And he was like, absolutely. And his timing is divine because it's around, major events in our community, George Floyd and other, losses that were just national, international news. And, you know, we have things in our communities that are being stripped from us, our rights to vote and the way that we can vote, our children and their education and all that. And then on top of that, I feel that we need to work on us as women so that we can give a better illustration and a standard for our kings. Our kings look to us, not to run them, but to be present, to be strong and consistent in being there. Not strong as like I'm a strong Black woman, because that has been spent. That is not the truth. We are women who are only strong when we're vulnerable, and we tend to not be honest about our pain and our struggle, and we get pegged as being strong, and we're broken.
It's a
we don't know
defense
where we're
mechanism
going.
that we built up. We don't know how to get over that.
They help spin that narrative, and we just ran with it. But there's so much in there. So the Black Mature Women show, we talk about mental health, and we talk about as it pertains to our community, not just in general, but just dealing specifically with us and our form of mental health. So we talk about that in relationships with other women, with our men, with our children. We talk about how our communities are being stripped of our very heritage. Not that we haven't already had to fight to find out who we are and what our culture is, but now they're trying to remove certain things out of our school systems and prevent their children from knowing the truth of their ancestors as it applies to us. So critical race theory had a whole show on that. The bills that we have asked to have passed that are just being tiptoed around and delayed and delayed and delayed, once again reminding us of our lack of importance to others. So I'm all about like, bump that, fine. I need to talk to y'all anyway. I don't need to talk to them. I need to talk to us. It's apparent that they have no idea, or they have no desire rather, to help us move any further. The progression that we have is limited because they want control of it. And I want to talk about it. I talk about the things that are really real about how we are in corporate America and how we're treated, how we're singled out. And then and then how we react to it. We react to it very poorly at times. We show our A, we come out fighting, and then, then we got others and brothers and sisters like, man, don't do all that. Just do what they ask. Okay, that's an old mentality where the truth should be, you know what? I need to stand with you. I might not want to wear my blue hair today up here at work, but the fact that they're discriminating against you is not okay.
Right.
So it's things like that where we forget to stand for one another, even though we may be showing our A, but she may or he may not show his A if we would stand up and give him room to have a voice and act like we know what he's talking about. But we don't. We do this.
And in our business.
Yeah. Which is what we've been doing for years. I'm tired of it. We have a voice. We have a safe place. This is a safe place to talk the real ish about what's going on. And next month is King Talk. I'm interviewing all brothers to have a real conversation about them and us.
I have a few brothers to pass to you. So I have a few brothers I'm gonna have reach out to you that I think that would be really, really amazing and dope for your show too.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes, ma'am. Love it. Yes, ma'am. So I think that is dope what you're doing. You also, I kind of want to piggyback when you talked about being in corporate America for a while. How do you incorporate what you learned from corporate America into your being an entrepreneur? And you've been a realtor, and you to show your business. What did you take from that world and bring it into this new world that you're living in, or this new journey that you're on?
Ooh. Getting all the transparency today. When I first jumped out, because August 28th of last year was me stepping out into entrepreneurship, I will tell you that I was like a child who didn't have a curfew. I don't know how to act. I had so much freedom. I didn't know what to do with myself. Initially, I came out the gate trying to do 50 million things and get nothing accomplished. Right. I did have some mentors and some support on getting basic business things set up, but my time was all over the place. And I'm not going to tell you today that it's defined in a way that is constantly consistent. But I do appreciate the structure that corporate America can give you, that it can help you be respectful and responsible to yourself. But it also reminded me that I don't ever want to work for another man. And I don't ever I don't want other people to believe that that is, I mean, for let me stop. I will say that for some, that's exactly what they need, whatever that season is. But I realize that I'm nothing more than an employee ID to them and a body that shows up. Sometimes they know me, sometimes they don't. Especially if we change our hair, they'd be like, "Wait a minute, did we get a new employee today?" You know, if we throw one of them in, they're like, "Wait a minute, did we get somebody?" You know, it's funny, but we're nothing more. We're not relational with
Mhm.
them. We're just people that can help them hit the bottom line and allow them to stay at the top. We can do the very same thing for ourselves. And we're absolutely beyond measure creative in getting things designed or brought forth, or that can yield into money. Uh, and we're just uneducated. We're misinformed, and we have a mentality of a model that there's scarcity out here, and there's that's too much saturation, or there's not enough for everybody. Lies, lies. God has made plenty, and we need to trust it.
Mm.
So I would say work on scheduling, time blocking, whatever you want to call it, so that you can be in some form of standard that will help you then stay on top of everything that you need to do. And corporate America lent to that. But and on the flip side, it also reminded me that I'm more valuable in my own business than I ever could have been valuable in theirs.
Hmm. Yeah, I struggle with that as well. I've been saying for the last couple of years, I'm just gonna, because like you said, this whole show, I just wanted to interview the people that I knew. Initially, I just, in my mind, I know a lot of dope people. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. I know a lot of dope people in Fort Worth that's really doing something. I want to make a platform. I want to talk to y'all about it. I didn't think about the whole business side of it. I didn't think that people were paying attention. I just wanted to talk. You know what I'm saying? And it took a life of its own. And it's those times where I'm like, I don't want to do it, or nobody paying attention to me, or my little show. You get all of these things in your head. But I definitely in the next year or so, I want to fully, like, I want this to be my business. You know what I'm saying? And I
It's a talk
want
show.
to, yeah, I want to step out and not, because like you said, that when it comes to corporate America, you're really you're just a number, and they act like they care, but when it comes down to it, they do not care at all. Like, for example, I was working with this guy who just had a baby, and they really was kind of like, okay, so when you coming back to work? Like, when, all right, congratulations. Okay, you had the baby on Thursday. You think you'll be here by next Thursday? Like, they were really, and they're just really those little incidents when I see them, like, you know what? I gotta get out of here. I got to
You
get
do.
out of here. So I
You do.
appreciate people like yourself actually stepping out and being an example, like, okay, it can actually be done, and be successful. Okay, let me look at her, let me see what she's doing. Okay, well, I don't like that. Well, let me take that for myself. And I think that's
Exactly.
another thing that we have to realize. I don't have to like everything that you're doing. I don't have to agree with everything that you're doing, but you take the best parts. Okay, this works for me, that don't work for me, you know? And I think that that's awesome. So again, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I want to thank you. I can't say it enough. I always thank everybody, because again, you could have been doing anything. It's Sunday morning, it's early, and you really took the time out to, come and to share with me and to share with my audience. And so I appreciate you. I love everything that you're doing. We're definitely going to stay in contact. I can't
Yes.
wait to connect some more and actually get to physically. I like the Zoom, but I miss the physical. Like, I miss being around people. I can touch, we can be face to face. So we're gonna, set that up eventually. So let the people know where they can
Yes.
find you, where they can listen to your show,
Woo.
what you have coming up.
Okay. So I'm on social media. I'm so sorry. Social media on Facebook. You can reach me at Black Mature Woman fan page. You can also listen to me on Fishbowl Radio Network, and you just look up Black Mature Woman. I'm on every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central Time. And then lastly, on IG, I have a Black Mature Woman IG as well that you can go to and see content. And I usually do an IG live every Thursday as well, for those who want to see it in person. And you're gonna have to come down, let me know so you can come in the studio. I'm in Studio B. You're gonna have to come in and sit down and let's have a chat,
Yes,
because I want to encourage you. God's already given you purpose. He's already given you the vision. It's time to do the talk show. It's time to move you out of your little room into a
yes.
bigger space. You need a stage where we can come and sit on the couch and we can have some real girl conversation. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Me too. Me too. Any last word of advice? You dropped a lot of jewels, but any last word of advice that you would leave anybody out there who may be one of those women, who struggles with, opening up and letting down the walls to other women, or just just any word of advice in your time that you have, that you want to share
Wow.
with
So
anybody.
words of advice, I'm going to say give yourself permission.
Mm,
I may be saying, there's no hesitation, come and join, be a part of this movement, but you have to feel comfortable in making that move. And so I'm not going to leave you behind. The door is always open and you're always welcome. Give yourself permission. It may not make sense to you the first time you do it, and you may just walk right back out the door, but the door is never going to close. I believe in this relationship with sisters loving sisters. It's possible. It happens. It's real. And I'm organic about it. Come see me. Come talk to me. Let me be one of the first people to remind you of how you're valuable.
mm,
And let's pay that forward. Because we're going to set the standard for our community. It's not only for ourselves, but for our kings and our children. But it starts with the women, not because we're the head or we're leading, but because we set the foundation so that he can be a king, so that they can be future kings and queens. But it starts with us, and our community is built on us being together as one, and we can do it.
mm. Thank you. Thank you for those words. You have a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy your day. We will definitely be in contact. Y'all, again, this is another episode of My Quality is for Real. I have real talks with quality people who have real purpose. And like y'all seen, another dope individual who is definitely walking in her purpose. So we thank you. We appreciate you. We're going to give you your flowers while you're still here. And
Thank you.
you enjoy your day. And I thank you. And we'll
You
talk.
too, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
Yes, ma'am.
Peace.
Have a good one.
I'm not saying you're not trying. I'm just saying you're not trying hard enough.
For multiple jobs a day, Latoya. In between that time, I do everything you ask me to do. I take care of Sade.
I work a 10-hour shift. I come home, I'll be a mother to Sade and a woman to you. Let's not forget, I'm still working on my master's. Baby, you could go back to school too. The money from the student loan and the Pell would do wonders in this household. I just need to know that you're doing something. Jordan, I'm tired.
I know, babe.
Do you?
Just need you to be patient. Remember I got those 3 interviews lined up next week? And I give the school thing some thought. I'm there all the time anyway.
Selling Adderall to your pill-popping ass friends does not constitute going to school. But taking them pills and sitting your ass in class does. Look. We met at school. Hell, you tutored me. Look. Baby, look. I don't know what happened. But you need to get it together.
Come on, don't do me like that.
Like what? I gotta stay.
Hey. I'm not trying to take advantage of you. We've been together too long for you to think that.
It's hard not to think that.
Okay.
What are you doing? Well, what are you doing?
So, I wasn't going to tell you about this, but I filled out the application to get back in school. A few days ago,
Boy.
went to drop off a prescription and traded the pills for help with the application and the reinstatement essay. That's why I was short on the rent.
Why you didn't tell me this earlier?
I mean, I don't know. I wanted to surprise you. But
I'm so proud of you.
really,
Yes, I am. You're always surprising me with something.
come here.
Hello, sir. I'm Detective Avery. This is Detective Barnes. Sorry to disturb you so late in the hour. Do you know of Constance Wells?
Yeah, she helped me get back in school. Well,
You sure that's all she does for you?
Several days ago, we found Miss Wells passed out in her room after taking some pills. We found this pill bottle in her possession. It has your name on it. Just wondering, how did she get it?
What's going on?
go back inside, man. Go back inside.
So do you mind coming with us down to the police station? This actually isn't the only bottle we found with your name on it. She has several stashed in empty drawers. Just want to ask you a few questions.
Am I under arrest?
You could be, if you don't come quietly with us.
No, but we could come back with a search warrant.
What's going on?
Hey, come here, man.
Call you what?
What's up there, man?
What's going on?
Call me a lawyer.